The following program is a Creative Magic Network production. Hey guys, come on in, sit down, relax, put your earbuds on. Welcome to the Frederick Bai Show, and this radio podcast is about unleashing your creativity. Dr. Experts, we step into the unknown. It is an inspirational, magical, intuitive radio podcast as we chat with charismatic enigmas. That's right. Artists, entrepreneurs from around the globe. Musicians, singers, radio hosts, businessmen, photographers, everything in between. I am Frederick Bai, the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Hey, in this place, sky is the limit and space is the place. I am your favorite French Canucker, and today it's an episode from the vault. Yes, an episode from the vault. You know, I thought I thought it'd be cool sometimes, you know, to go back into these older episodes and just share them again, because they were great episodes and I met so many great people. And today we're going to talk about one of our favorite subjects. It's one of my most listened episode as we talk about the law of attraction with Ken Elliot. That's right. Living on the edge and insane in the brain, baby. Have you ever had the sense that your thoughts might actually be doing something? Imagine you are a genie and everything you wish begins to form up right in front of you. Well, today with Ken Elliott, we're going to talk just about that. We're going to talk about, he's going to talk about his personal experiences, and he's going to talk about his book, Manifesting 1, 2, 3, a great book that all of you should get. We're going to talk about gratitude. Yes, gratitude. We all love it. You know, every successful person out there, they talk about gratitude all the time. And, you know, it's a very, very special subject. And it's one, like I said, it's one of my most listened to episode. And that's pretty cool. So, that's it for me for right now. We're going to get to the conversation right after this. Hey guys, quick thanks to RadioGuestList.com, where you can find people to interview for free. Thank you guys for your support. And speaking of support, are you an Amazon shopper? When you use our Amazon link at FrederickBuy.com, Amazon kicks back a few dollars to us, the show, and it helps cover production costs at no additional cost to you. No hidden fees, no nothing. So you feel like this show, you can help by going over to FrederickBuy.com, click on the blog page, and click the Amazon link in the sidebar for all your online Amazon shopping. It's that simple. Bookmark it to find it easier. All right, so hello. We are here at the Creative Magic Unchained. I am Frederick Bai, and we are here with Ken Elliot. Elliot. Is it Elliot? Elliot.
Right? I like the way you say it. Elliot.
We talk about his latest book, one of my favorite subjects to talk about, Manifesting 1, 2, 3. And by the way, guys, you don't need number 3. Hey, thank you. How are you today, Ken?
I'm doing wonderfully. We're getting a little snow.
Where are you from? Where are you?
I'm just south of Denver, and March is our wettest month. Everybody thinks it's, something crazy happening, but we've had 1 foot of snow. It's a little unusual, and we've had 4 inches again 3 days later. So it's beautiful out here. We're still having winter.
Wow. Yeah, because I'm in Montreal too, and we got winter. I'm surprised you got winter in Denver. Jeez.
Well, we're a mile high, so we're catching a little more of that cool air.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so look, I love that subject, and it's a subject that, manifesting our desires is really a subject that everybody's interested in. It's like, it's big now. It's really, really a big thing. And, the power of our thoughts, the power of our emotions, and gratitude. All right. So right before we dive into your book, talk to us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay. I grew up in Texas. That's why I talk funny like this. And I was not a metaphysical guy. I didn't grow up in a spiritual family, although my parents were wonderful, wonderful people. And it wasn't until much later in my life, late 30s, something like that, that I had an issue. We've all got issues, like a box full of tissues, right? And I was just drowning in this thing, and I asked someone who had written a book that really struck me, and it brought me into the metaphysical field a little bit. And I see her lecture around the country and this and that, and some of the people that she was working with, I liked their material too. So I was really fresh to this. And since I had this thing that was really just killing me, I called her and said, I need the name of the most accurate psychic in the United States, because she's a get-around girl. And she said, you call Judy Goodman. And that's www.judygoodman.com. She lives in Georgia. And I don't know why I said this. That's a magic phrase. Every once in a while, somebody will say, I don't know why I said that after they told you something profound. Well, this is one of those things in reverse. And I had this thought, and I don't know why I said this, but I asked her, well, where does her information come from? She said, it comes from the top. Is that good enough for you? And I was kind of shaken. And I had a wall phone at the time. That's how far along this was, how far back. And I called you up, and we became very fast friends. And she helped me with that issue. And then other things started to happen. She was there at the perfect time. It was all one of those pieces of timing that people like to talk about. A little piece of destiny. So I started remembering dreams. I started having phenomena. I started meeting other authors. And a stranger called me. I hadn't been talking to Judy very long. And she said, do you know who you're dealing with? Who she is? I said, well, she's a psychic. Judy hates that word. And she said, no. And she told me all these gifts that Judy has, and they're way over the top. That person hasn't been on Oprah yet. This is the most gifted person in the country, if not on the planet. And we don't even have the time to go through all this stuff. But one of the things that person told me is if you send her something in thought, she'll get it. And I went, what? What are you talking about? No, that's not ESP. That's not, Mm-hmm. And so she told me that she had sent Judy something, a bouquet of flowers, a year before on her birthday. And Judy came into her hotel room, which is out in the Caribbean. This person didn't even know where Judy was, just sent it to wherever Judy was in thought. And Judy opens the door, and in spirit, because she's extremely gifted, she could see this thought in the appearance of a bouquet. In other words, she could see the bouquet in spirit, as if she could see your, deceased cousin or somebody. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was pretty wild. So I started sending Judy things the next day. And I did that done this for about 20 years. And what I have learned is, if I send her something in thought, it starts to manifest in her home immediately, and she can watch it take form. Now, this is not the literature.
She sees the other side, right?
On the other side. Mm-hmm. Now, Judy, I know there are people that are gifted enough to see this. I'm blessed with some extremely gifted people in my life. And then around that time, I became friends with William Buhlman, Buhlman, William Buhlman, and he is the leading out-of-body author. He's got books, I think it's up into 9 languages now. Wow. Teaches at the Monroe Institute. And he said something to me that just knocked me off my feet, early back. He said, sometimes I go to the other side. He's an adept, so he'll go on the other side 3 or 4 nights a week. Judy, by the way, goes to the other side every night. Comes back with full memory most of those days, and she can be in your dreams, among other things. So this is pretty interesting stuff. And so William comes along and says this statement. He said, sometimes I go to the other side, and I will see the things on my wish list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He'll see these things on his wish list just lined up over there in various stages of formation. This guy's talking about thought in very practical terms. And I said, wait a minute. What do you mean? I've heard a lot of stuff by this point. And he said, if I have something on my list, anything, it could be a concept or an object. If I've had it on my wish list for, say, a couple of weeks, when I go over there, I can see that item. It looks like a little wisp of vapor. it looks like a little puff of smoke. Mm-hmm. I said, wait a minute, you put it on your list and you can see it over there? Mm-hmm. He said, yeah. And you better believe I'm going to cross-confirm this with Judy because she's over there all the time, right? So I'm just letting this.
How does he do? I mean, does he close his eyes and see it?
No, he's out of body. So he's fully conscious over there. He has left his body. He's in the spirit world.
Okay. So and he's lying. Let's say he's lying down.
Yeah, his body is lying down. Yeah, he has left his body. He floats to the ceiling or through the wall, and he's out. I mean, he can hang around the earth plane, but he can go out further. There's many dimensions, many layers. He doesn't just go around to the dark side of the moon to see if there's a hot dog stand that's opened over there yet. He's out there. Being with him, I say this over and over, it's like talking to Columbus or being with Magellan. Mm-hmm. This man's out there exploring things, and he's not the only one. There are plenty of people that do this. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to do. It's in his books. That's how I learned to do it. So anyway, if it's been on the wish list for just a short time, it's just a wisp of smoke. It looks like a vapor. If he's had something on his wish list and he touches this thing every day, then if it's 6 weeks out or so, that thing's got a lot of form on it. It's got a blush of color. You can certainly recognize what the object is. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's a concept, like a perfect career, it's a fully formed cloud. It's not a vapor. It has a form, and because you're over there, you can, if you look at a thing, you know it. Mm. You have a lot more information over there. So even if it's a concept, he can see what it is. But we'll just keep it with solid objects. So let's say that he
just say a concept. You mean, like you said, a career, a philosophy,
career,
like what?
Happiness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Health. Yeah, things that aren't little red sports cars, right?
Yeah. Okay, but to keep it simple, we'll use objects. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, your thoughts will make anything. So it's either going to be a fully formed, like a cloud, or it's going to be a fully formed object. We'll call it the little red sports car. So if he's been on this little red sports car for some time, and that wasn't the object on his list, but if he's been on this for weeks, months, he goes over there, he can see that thing is now fully formed. Mm-hmm. It's full color. It's full 3D, and it's coming over. Now here's the takeaway. This is why I won't shut up about this stuff. No one's written about this. No one had this experience and wrote about it. We would talk about it, but he didn't write about it. And Judy is aware of this because I called Judy up and said, wait a minute, we was seeing his stuff just in various stages of formation over there. She said, that's right. That's how thought works. I'm going, wait a minute. And so I had to write this book. But, I just fooled around with this for 20 years because I was waiting for somebody else to write the book.
For 20 years?
20 years. I just played with this stuff. Now here's the weird thing. I'm ashamed to tell you how smart I am. I sent Judy, 30, 40, 50 things. She got them every time. And sometimes she'd say, you overworked that one. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had no skill set, no giftedness, no edge at all. I'm just some, guy from Texas trying to find the next barbecue stand, have a good time. Thank you very much. Right. Mm-hmm. And here's this metaphysical stuff coming on me. It makes me stutter just to think about it. And I'm just like standing under a waterfall with all these things. Mm-hmm. And I'm sending her these objects over and over and over and over and over. And then one day somebody said, you need to watch this movie, The Secret. Mm-hmm. So what's it about? So all these guys that do manifesting stuff. And I kind of said, well, I think I know something about that. And I watched the thing, turned it off, and I just had to sit down quietly. I went, holy cow. Almost said a bad word there, didn't I? Holy cow. I was in shock because here's all these experts. They've got piles of books between them. And they know what they're talking about. I support what they're talking about. I'm for anybody that makes a wish, that prays, that makes wish lists and vision boards and all the stuff that people talk about. And they keep writing about the books. You're right. It's very popular stuff. But here's all these experts in The Secret. And you know what? Not a single one expressed or knew how it works.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So what we've been doing, let's all get together and have a little wine and cheese. Let's talk about our experiences and get together the best practices because, damn it, we're having trouble with our light switches, right? They don't come on all the time. Isn't that what we think? And we're going to petition this light switch in the best way possible. We're going to put sticky notes around that thing. We're going to watch what we say. You know, we're going to look at that thing and give it the stare, because what we want when we go up to the light switch is for it to come on 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. We're acting like we don't know it's hooked up to the power plant. I mean, that's what we're doing with manifesting. But what's going to happen on this program today in just a few minutes, and you already have it. You know thought works. Mm-hmm. So no more wishing and hoping. Let me put it another way. When I did the first version of the book, and it's so simple, it's hard for people to get it. I thought, you put it out there, people get it. Aha. And it'll just, be a revolution. No, it's too easy. It's too good to be true. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But it's like gravity. Are you expert at gravity?
Me? No. I just know that gravity is what it is.
Yeah. But you get 100% result when you hold something out and let it go, right?
Yeah.
And as a 3-year-old, any better than you are at gravity?
No.
Nope. Everybody's equally gifted. They're born with the ability to use gravity. Well, it's a natural law. Mm-hmm. Now, here it is. Thought is a natural law. Mm-hmm. And if you think of something, your thoughts will immediately start to build it. And my friends who can see this, they can see it immediately in my field, and it starts to look like a puff of smoke or a vapor.
Now, let me ask you this, because, the secret really popularized this thing. But, I read books.
Good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I read books. I read books now, a lot of books, and, the law of attraction, everything that you're talking about right now, it's been there for years, like I read books written in 1915, Ralph Waldo Emerson and all these guys. Who, who
thoughts make things. Edgar Cayce, thought is the builder. They're all over it.
But now
it's true. It's true.
Yeah. But now what I see, it's almost like, I know it's true, but it's almost, it became a trend almost for many people. And I don't know if you agree with me, but it seems that it's taken superficially a little bit. Like, I'm just going to think something and then it's going to happen.
Well, that's not quite what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a vision board or wish list, or I'm going to think of this every day, or I'm going to meditate on this, I'm going to do this and this. I'm going to repeat until I don't believe it anymore. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to bail. It's just a waste of time. Yeah. Or I'm going to do what all these 6 or 7 or 20 different people say, mm-hmm. and I'm a little confused here. At the core of this is thought makes things. Okay. Mm-hmm. But man, they're coming at so many angles. I don't know which car to drive. Mm-hmm. There's so many models and makes. So, I was aware of that. I've seen some of that stuff, and here it is. All the time this stuff is bouncing around, and I'm such a bright bulb. I'm doing this all the time, but I never realized I could turn it on me. Mm-hmm. I was just playing post office with Judy, and bless her heart, she could see down the road this book is going to happen. And she's dealing with a guy that's just not very bright, apparently. But she's very patient with me. And so we play this little game. Mm-hmm. And so one time it's in the book, I sent her something in real time on the phone, a complicated object. And in 6 minutes, it started to form well enough that she could give me a description of it live on the phone. Mm-hmm. She's 2,100 miles away. Mm-hmm. So what you're going to get today isn't something that, you read it and you think about it and go, well, I don't know. And so when I did the second edition of the book, it hit me. I need to make this clearer. So this is as clear as I know how to make it at this point. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So imagine that you're a genie. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets that concept. Mm-hmm. You're a genie and you're just sitting there, hands folded or not, and you think of something. You're going to put it in a chair across from you. You think of something, you're going to put it in that chair. And you can watch it take form. And the more you think of it, the clearer and clearer it gets. And this isn't very hard. And in a very short time, the genie has it. He'll have it instantly because that's the cartoon character. But in real life, if you get on that thing, and I got it within 6 minutes, 2,100 miles away, and Judy could tell me what it was. Mm-hmm. 6 minutes and just thinking, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't know what I'm doing with gravity either. And I got a confession from you. You don't have a clue either. Mm-hmm. But we're really good at this stuff because it's our birthright. It's a natural law. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what everyone is saying is good advice for them. You know, I'm not going to disagree with them and pick this stuff apart. They're all trending along the line of if you think of something and if you repeat that thought, it will bring the thing to you. Law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Here's what I think about the law of attraction. You have a singular thought. Hold up your index finger in front of you. You have one thought. And now that you have that thought, that is a target for things to be brought to you. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't have a target, there's no law of attraction. Nothing happens. Mm-hmm. The thought is prime. The thought is what makes it happen.
Would you agree? Because when I said it's taken superficially, would you agree that the law of attraction is about personal growth as opposed to I'm just going to get stuff for my ego self? Well, my little self who wants, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I get that. So let me just give you the big overview on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have an army. We have a powerful army. And we can use it for where we want to use it for. And we put a lot of time and intention, and we've got a lot of other people in this, and we have fed and watered this thing, and we have a massive army. And it's on a border, and we don't like those guys on the other side, whatever the reasons we've convinced ourselves that they're different from us. Mm-hmm. And we can launch that army. Is that personal growth?
Wow.
You know, mm-hmm. It's the Wild Wild West down here. There have been a lot of invasions.
Yeah, you talked about in your book, you talked about the Nazis and stuff.
Yeah. And the angels didn't stop these guys at the border. It was allowed. Mm-hmm. And thoughts will just make things. And here's the kicker. A couple of them. Number one, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It doesn't matter if you believe what I'm saying or not. Mm-hmm. If you try it or don't try it, it doesn't matter what you believe. But your thoughts are making things anyway. And second, just like gravity, if you're going to throw a ball at somebody and you have menace, gravity doesn't judge that and say, oh, no, can't have that. Cancel. Mm-hmm. No, gravity doesn't judge. It does what it does, right? Mm-hmm. You get a nice little arc and bonk on the head, or you're just playing catch with somebody. Mm-hmm. Gravity doesn't judge if it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And your thoughts will make anything, and they start to make it immediately, just like you hit the button on an engine, and it doesn't judge good or bad. It just makes things constantly. The trick is, if you repetitively think of something, imagine like you've got a piece of Xerox paper, and you can hand it over and put it on a table on the other side in the spirit world. So every time you have that singular thought, it's a piece of paper, and you put it over there, or your wish list. The whole little thing goes over there. And sometimes, that's a crumpled piece of paper. Some days you forget. Some day it's on fire. I'll put it out and I'll put it over there. It's just ashes, but whatever. After days and days and days, months and months, you have layered that intention over and over and over and over and over, and you have a sizable piece of physicality in the spirit realm, the equivalent of physicality over there in that space. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And here's the part I don't know. Maybe it doesn't match over there anymore, or it's just the way it works. You put enough attention on something, it will build it, and it finds a way here very directly. Mm-hmm. Very directly. And it's just as magical as it can be, but we're born with it, and everybody is equally gifted.
Once again, we're here with Ken Elliott. We'll talk about his latest book, Manifesting 1, 2, and 3. And you don't need number 3. We're talking the law of attraction. We're talking manifesting our desires, and we're talking about the power of our thoughts. And guys, right before continuing this conversation, if you have a passion, something that fuels your curiosity, well, on top of getting fascinating interviews such as this one straight to your inbox, when you subscribe to our free Creative Magic community, you will get super cool exclusive gifts in return, such as the ebook, Happiness Quotes by the Ambassador of Happiness herself, Maura Sweeney, one of our hosts, and also an exclusive conversation with two of my favorite people, Alex Okoroji and the blind blogger Maxwell Ivy. another one of our hosts, as we talk about the influence of friends and college education on our lives, the competitiveness in a crowded field, the importance of business and financial education in arts and entrepreneurship, and more. And also, Alex has a special gift for you inside. I promise you will get inspired and entertained. Subscribe for free at frederickbuy.com. Frederick with a C, buy like bye-bye.com. All right. All right. So we talk about manifesting, we think something, and it forms on the other side. Now, you start the book with the power of gratefulness, the power of gratitude. Why did you start the book with the power of gratitude, and what is the impact? Why gratitude?
Well, and that's another big topic, and they're all over it. And when you put this in with manifesting, it's the full package. It's a very powerful thing. Your thoughts are a weaker force than the gratitude. If you can find a way to
repeat that. Our thoughts are a weaker force
than gratitude.
Okay.
There's two great powers in the universe. I'm going to make this sweeping generalization, but I feel like it's true. And you can divide anything you come across into two camps. It's going to be love or fear. You look at any we got some political stuff going on down here. We've set up, we've got tents and banners and elephants and clowns and jugglers. We got it going on down here. But you can look through that. It's love or fear. You can split that apart very quickly. And those are the two great powers that drive things in our world, in our universe. So when I first sent something to Judy, she said, I told her I'm going to send her something. It was her birthday. She said, what are you going to do? And she gave me this instruction, but it never sunk in. I never used it again for, 15 years or more. She said, you're going to send me something in thought. Okay. So just think about it. Give it a few seconds. You don't have to be a creative person. You don't have to have a picture of it. And what I was going to send her was a simple rose and a simple silver vase, but she doesn't know that. And she said, you're going to send me this thought, and it's a gift because it's my birthday. So this thought is going to come from your heart because you're sending me a gift. She said, I'll get it every time. And so what I did was forget about the heart. I didn't even think about that again. But that first time out, it was a gift, and she got it instantly. And that's a big chapter in the book about how that happened. And going forward, I never thought about the heart thing again, the gratitude portion. So I would just concentrate on things really, really hard over and over and over and over and over. And just kind of go insane with this thing. But I'm not good at this. I can tell you, I wrote the book, but I'm just terrible at this stuff. But I get perfect results. At least when I send it to Judy. In my life, I do very, 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 very well. And when it's not going well, I don't worry about doubting it because I know it's building anyway. And I have friends who can go over there and see my stuff. How good is that? That's crazy. So I know I'm the genie, and it doesn't matter if I can see it or not. I know it's building. So my job is to simply think of the thing and repeat it. And by the way, your thoughts can make the future. So this is very important. I'll give you a pause. You can grab a pencil or just think about this clearly. Your thoughts can make the future. So here's the number one of 1, 2, 3. Imagine that you're in your future. And in your future, you're on the couch at the end of the day. And I do this a lot because I don't need to have a lot of detail. I'm on the couch at the end of the day, and I imagine that whatever it is I want has already happened. My thoughts will create the thing I specify. And I don't need to figure out how to get there. If I say, like a genie, if I say I'm on the couch at the end of the day and I'm observing, it's the end of the day and I was at my perfect career today. I love my perfect career. I'm well thought of. I love this work. It fills my cup. And here it is. I'm so grateful. And that will accelerate that thought. It will magnify it, amplify it, exponentially empower it. Now, I've done this where I can just think of stuff and just grind it out. But when I add gratitude to something, I don't have to work on this very hard. All I have to do is repeat it every day. Just once a day. Don't sit at home and do this thing over and over and over and over and over. Just once a day. That's it. That's all you need. And by the way, once you do this, here comes that law of attraction thing again that people like to use. It's a good phrase. Once you do that, you become the target of the things that you are manifesting in your future. Mm-hmm. So you need to get out more. You need to say yes more. Somebody says, we got this little party over here. If it's a drunken mayhem thing, no, use your common sense. But if it's some sort of reasonable invitation, you might not want to go. Show up. You never know who you're going to meet. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. Mm-hmm. Everything you're manifesting can't come through the front door by UPS. So things are going to happen different ways. You become the center. You are the thought, and things are going to start coming to you. And all you have to do is repeat it every day. But you go into your future. If you want high detail, then imagine, if you're in that vacation spot in Bimini, there's the ocean, you can hear it, and there's the, your little something drink with the umbrella on top and all of that, and you can see that clearly. And taste, smell, sense the whole thing. That's terrific. That is very helpful. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to have all that detail for the perfect career. In fact, that can get in your way. Yeah. People would say, I've got to lose 5 pounds. I need a better car. I've got to do this. Well, your thoughts have to make all those things.
All right. Let's say the person is, okay, let's say I'm 25 years old. Mm-hmm. 25 years old. I'm uh-huh. going, you're going to school. Can I have you have a day job and you don't really like that day job. You're kind of sort of paying the bills, but you have nothing left at the end of the month. Okay.
Right.
Now I get this, I stumble upon your book, Manifesting 1, 2, 3. I read it through and I go, okay, so I can manifest what I want through my thoughts. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I got to pay the bills next month.
Yes.
And the money's not there.
Yep.
What do I do?
Been there. I do that. Got that one.
I got to pay the rent. Look, I live in LA or I live in New York. Hey, I got to pay the bills. It's, it's fun. It's fine that, my thoughts create my life, but, in 2 weeks, I got to pay the rent.
Yep.
What would you say to that person?
I'm expert on this one. Just because I wrote the book doesn't mean I've got it all rolling for me, right? Mm-hmm. So, you have some dry spells. All right. So 2 things happen. The number 2, manifesting 1, 2, 3. You don't need number 3. By the way, it's www.manifesting123.com. Mm-hmm. And every Friday there's a newsletter that comes out. And virtually every Friday there's a story from a reader. Every once in a while I'll drop in, do an editorial. And on that website, there's over 100 stories. You can search them out by keywords. Mm-hmm. So you want to go for money? Yeah, it's in there. Rent, it's in there. And there's multiple instances of that. So, all right, it's 3:00 in the morning. We're doing the number 2 of number 1, 2, 3 right now. In 2 weeks, you got to come up with $1,400. You don't have it. And you get paid twice a week, and you just got paid, and that got spent. Yeah. And there's nothing else coming. $1,200 coming at you, and 14 days minus 3 seconds and counting. And it's 3:00 in the friggin' morning, and you're freaking out.
I have, my skin itches. Jeez, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Let me not point this at you. I'm freaking out. I have done this. I do this. Now, I'm not completely an idiot, but I have my moments. But I know this. If I'm sitting up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking that I can't pay that bill, mm-hmm. then I'm creating that. Mm-hmm. My thoughts will make anything I want to repeat. Mm-hmm. So if I'm saying, I don't know how to pay this, then my thoughts will figure out how I can't pay it. And they'll go, ta-da, like ding, ding, ding. You tip the bartender, ding, ding, ding. They hit that bell. Look what we did. Well, that's not what you want. No. So anything I repeat, positive or negative, I know it's building. My friends can see it. They can see it. Sometimes I've had phone calls on this. Mm-hmm. You got to get off this thing. You're making a mess here. What are you thinking? So here's what you do. Number 2, manifesting 1, 2, 3. You have to take action on those worries. Well, I would suggest, I'm not going to hammer people, take action on the worries. What the heck does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, and this was given to me. It came to me one day because I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't pay the mortgage. And I'm sweating it, and my heart is pounding. I'm a little shaky for the last 3 days. It's a big number, and I don't know where it's going to come from. And I'm just freaking. I'm really freaking.
Walking around with that pit in your stomach, you know what I mean?
Well, I can't even feel my stomach. I'm just knotted up everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, this is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got my perfect house, by the way. This is the first mortgage payment.
Oh, no.
What am I thinking? I just got a 30-year note. I got to hit a grand slam home run every month for 30 years. Am I nuts? Yeah. And I'm first one out of the box. I'm freaking. I don't got it.
Yeah. So what do I do? What do I do? Jeez.
Yeah. All right. So it's 3:00 in the morning. So you grab a piece of paper or get your smartphone, turn on the lights or don't. You're going to make some notes. You're going to take action on this lack. Number one, get to work, call the boss, ask for a raise. Oh, hate that. Well, you better come up with some things that you'd be valued to the company with, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what could happen? He might fire you on the spot. He might put you off to the corner, but you know what? You need more income. This is one of the ways. You know, if you roll out of that job, that might be the best thing that ever happened to you. How many hundreds of times we heard that one? We're not going to quit the job to do the thing we'd rather be doing because of the security involved.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
All right. So you ask the boss for a raise. Number two, let's see. You've got some friends in the business, some mentors, make some calls. Put it out there. You need some help. You got some good ideas for me. What can I do here? I need something quick. Number three. It might be some people owe you some money. Oh God! You know, if they had the money, they pay you. But you're just taking action on this lack. So call them up. Just call them up, or say, "Can I start sending you a monthly thing, where just a reminder, a friendly reminder? You're going to take action on this. And that's your money. You're not a bank, but you can't squeeze the tournament. So, and I've been a tournament before myself. So you can do what you can do. What's another one? You've got this little side business, and it may not be a career, but maybe there's a little income on that. All right, you're going to look into that. The next thing on the list, you'll start looking through some of the want ads, the Craigslist, this sort of thing, bulletin boards, and see what's out there for you. Now, did that pay the bills? No. Did you stop worrying about it? No. I can't tell, and so many books try to do this. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
The more you try not to worry about it, the more you worry about it.
There's a pink elephant in here. What is that? What's elephants in my room? You got to think about it. Your foot feels like it's falling off. Well, don't worry about it. It's just pain. No, you can't, but you can take action on it. And if you can think of anything else to do, put it on the list and do it. Can you get it all done in a day? Maybe not. But it's on your list and you're taking action against that worry. Now, you're going to be the only guy on the block that goes to the future every day and manifests, guess what? Whatever it is in your present life that you don't want, you go in your future and it does not exist. And your thoughts will make that. So there's been a number of these stories. I hate my boss. My boss hates me. It's I like my job, but I can't get through the boss. It's just crippling. And I go home and I feel like, terrible all the time. And I'll say, go to your future. And in your future, number one, you have your perfect career. Let's forget this job stuff. You're in your perfect career. And everybody loves you and da-da-da-da-da. Now, if you insist on being in that office, all right, you're in your future and there you are at your desk. You visualize all that. You don't have to be good at it. You just visualize it. And you observe in the future, the boss is not a problem. I really like my boss. Now, we didn't say who he is. I really like my boss. Now, what happens? Your future will start to make that thing. And here's the results that happen. And we'll do it with a house, too, coming back to making the payment. On the boss, first of all, he has an epiphany. He sells some cartoon with his 3-year-old. Or his granddaughter says some sort of thing, and it just changes life on the spot. I don't know what it is. But now he's in this other mode. And is he perfect? Well, nobody is, but he's pretty nice. Did he go to charm school or something? Did somebody give him a business book?
Mm-hmm.
Did they threaten him on the streets yesterday? Because he's turned around. Or guess what? He gets promoted. It's a win-win for everybody. He's happy. You get a new boss comes in, love the new boss. Maybe you get the spot. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But something changes there. Now, another thing that'll happen, let's say you've got this pain in your leg. We'll make that equivalent to your boss. And in your future, you observe that you don't have that chronic knee pain anymore. And what happens? Give it a few weeks, you wake up one morning, you realize you've been walking around. You know what? Wow, that knee doesn't bother me very much. It's there, but the pain is diminished. What's up with that? I didn't do anything. I woke up with it. I get that story a lot. Mm-hmm. Another thing that happens on the boss, you realize after you go in the future, in the middle of the day or over lunch with somebody, they're complaining about the boss, and you realize, you know what? Wow, he doesn't get under my skin anymore. When did that happen? And you might even defend him. Well, he's just doing his job. And I guess I just see it from another angle now. The boss doesn't bother me anymore. Now, isn't that weird? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways that can happen. So back to this mortgage. So I manifested in my future, and other people have done this, that they look at their bank account, and I use the word, it's just fat. My bank account's just fat.
What do you mean it's fat?
It's fat. It's got a lot of money in it.
Okay. Oh, you picture that?
Yeah, I picture it.
Okay.
Open up my computer, and there's these big numbers. I don't even know what they are, but I just go, wow, that's fat. There's some money in there. And so I'm doing this thing. I'm having that mortgage payment problem, right? Open up my computer. I'll give you a number. There's $28,000 in my personal checking account. Mm-hmm. Well, where'd that come from? There's usually like two in there. $28,000. What is that? Mm-hmm. Well, that would pay the bills, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. I went and took a shower. I'm thinking about how I can steal this money from the bank because they made a big mistake. And I'm a pretty practical guy. I figured, there's probably at least 100 laws in the books that protect the banks against their mistakes like this. You just can't go running off of the money. Mm-hmm. And but I had a thought, and I called my accountant. I said, I sold a house and had a big loss. I've got a lot of money coming back, and I haven't seen that check from the IRS. He said it's an automatic deposit. If you'll look, you'll see a number with a long string of numbers. It doesn't say where it comes from. And I looked at my checking account, and there it was. That wasn't all of it, but that was a good chunk of it. Some of the other money came from another place. Suddenly, I hadn't looked at my checking account for 3 days or so. In that short time, some money was in there, and was more than enough to cover me. Mm-hmm. Way enough. In fact, it covered me going out for a ways. It just happened. It was all my money. It was all my money coming back to me. The IRS, that was owed to me. The rest of the money was when I was trying to get financing, get the mortgage for the house. Mm-hmm. I have an income stream that's X, and then I have some money in savings, and that was X. And they wanted to put that together, then I could qualify. Mm-hmm. My payments my income wasn't quite enough, but with the back money, that would work. And so they said, we want a proof of concept that you will pull that money out of savings if you're short. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, we want you to do an automatic draw. And I said, okay, well, you can turn it off, but we want to see it coming out of there on an automatic basis. It's funny, but that's just the way we want to do it. I said, okay. I forgot to turn it off. So the money in savings is now moved to my personal. There's the IRS money from the loss coming back to me. It's all my money. It's all in the personal account because I specified that my accounts were fat. And there it was. That's the easiest, most efficient way for my thoughts to do it is just give me my own money and just move it over there. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that. It was crazy good, though.
Would you say that there is a spirit of abundance that most people haven't tapped into it? Like, is there a spirit of abundance and a spirit of lack? You understand what I'm saying?
The word lack, let's be clear. The word lack is a command.
What do you mean, sir?
The word abundance is a command. If you're the genie and you say abundance, then you have abundance. If you say lack, then you have lack. You will get lack. You just put a quarter in the machine and you just type in what it is, and that's what you get. Put $50 in there, you get a lot more than a quarter's worth. It's nothing but layers of intention with a specific thought.
And when you think those thoughts of, my account is fat, you call upon the kind of energy of abundance, that spirit of abundance to you.
Yeah. Well, in my mind, I specify there's big numbers in there. I wouldn't tell people, that it's fat. Maybe all you'll get is bigger font when you go look at your bank next time. It's just fatter font. I don't but, be specific. I've been on the other side plenty. And it's very, very literal. I can't say it enough. It's like a computer. If you just type the number 5, all that computer is going to do is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. If you're thinking that you are not worthy, if you are less than, your thoughts will create that field, and you will be perceived that way. If you want to create abundance, then in your future, and you don't have to be in the abundance palace, you can be, just on a porch, in a swing, and whatever it is, but it's something you repeat. That's why I use the couch. I'm in the future, and I'm sitting on my couch, and I realize from this perch in my future that money is no longer a concern for me. In fact, it's a tool. Now that flips things around.
It's a game.
That flips it. Yeah. So I don't have to look at bank accounts. I don't have to do anything. And if I want to be more specific, okay, I added this in. I'm in my future, and I can clearly see that my bills and expenses are paid a year in advance and indefinitely forward. I want my thoughts to make that. So, anytime I'm thinking, I don't even have to go look at a bank account. I know because I've seen it clearly when I look at the bank account or however it comes into me, some statement through the mail. I can clearly see that my bills and expenses are paid a year in advance, and from there indefinitely forward. And money is no longer a concern for me.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a tool.
Yeah.
I want my thoughts to make that.
You realize the money is just as you say, it's just a tool. It's a game. Like when you don't have a lot of money, it's very serious. Yeah. But we're doing good. When you're doing fine, it's a game. Like not a game in the sense that it's not, you don't take it seriously, but I don't know. It's just like you said, it's a tool. It's just a tool.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want to define it, but I'll give you this. I learned this very, 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 very quickly. There's real money and there's the equivalent of money. Now, I needed a means to pay for that mortgage that first time. All of that money was my money. I didn't go out and punch in and punch out and scurry around and open up a lemonade stand. It was my money. It just came back to me another way. All right. So that's the equivalent of having the money, but that's not as well defined. So here's another. So many times people will say, I've got to have a car. I've got to have a car. Now, when you say, I want a car, please don't say that. I'm not going to give you a lot of rules, but I'll give you that one.
Why?
You're not wanting for a car. You're not needy. I desire a car. I'm having a car. I'm creating a car. I will have a car. Or in my future, I already have a car. I'm driving it, beep, beep, honk, honk, right?
You already picture yourself having it, basically.
Yes. But when you are thinking in your everyday speech, and you say, boy, I really want a car, nothing has to happen. You just commanded want. The machine doesn't start up. Now, if you say, I demand a car, I'm having a car, I'm pointing myself to the red sports car, I'm getting that car, then it starts to build it. But if you go up to, if you're in a line to the Genie, and the guy in front of you says a green sedan, the next person says a yellow minivan, you go up there and say, well, I need a car. The guy looks at you like you're nuts. So what are you talking about? Of course you're needy. I know you don't have a car. What do you desire? You say, I need a car. Oh, get out of here. You don't have to do anything. You're needy. You want to be needy? Get out of line.
Yeah.
You're already needy.
Yeah.
Your thoughts build it. So it's very, very literal. And I don't have a lot of rules. And this is not a meditation. And this is not an act of faith. And this is not a measure of your belief. When you're looking at a waterfall, your understanding of gravity has absolutely no effect on that waterfall. It's going to go down anyway. Doesn't matter if you believe gravity or not. And you can't affect it. Not gravity, but you can affect things with your thought.
Once again, we're here with Ken Elliott. He's talking about his latest book, Manifesting 1, 2, and 3, and you don't need number 3. One part of your book that is very important, I think, is the use of, adding layers of intentions. You talked about it a little bit earlier, but can you go deeper a little bit about, can you talk about that a little bit more? I think
Sure. Well, a singular thought is weak. The first thought is sort of weak. You want to do it again and again and again. You're really just building layers of intention. Before I knew about this, well, I was actually sending this stuff to Judy, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having some fun. I would make a wish list. Now, I knew from talking to William, he would talk about layers of intention. Now, Judy and William, they're doing things with their thoughts, but they're special, aren't they? They wrote books. They're not like you and me. As it turns out, they're just like you and me when it comes to thought.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that. So, they're in another realm with this stuff. So I'm just a pumpkin head and I'm just having fun with this. So I would make a wish list, but I knew about this layers of intention thing. And I thought that was the critical thing. It turns out it is, and gratitude even more so. So I would recommend to people, because I was pretty smart about this, don't you think? I would say, all right, I'm going to make a wish list. Now, I'm going to put layers of intention on this, more than just making a list and putting a little candle on it and having a little, wish ceremony or something. So I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get in the car and I want to buy some special stationery. And I'm going to put a little time and effort into this. I'm going to put some equity into this wish list. So I get that stationery and then I go to a place in the house where there's some envelopes and I get it. And then I write this thing out, and if I make a mistake, I get another piece of stationery, or I write it out and I print it onto this special paper. So it's really good looking. So I'm going to a lot of effort on this. I'm really editing this thing and all of that. It's very simple, but when I see it, it's going to be perfection on this special paper. And I'm going to get this envelope, and I'm going to mail it to myself. But I'm not going to walk out to the street. I got in the car, and I drove like 10 miles. And found some mailbox somewhere, and I dropped it in there. I went way out of my way. I'm building intention on this thing. And when it came back to me, I would put a candle on it. Sometimes I'd put it, in the car where I could just see the envelope, not even open. It's dated, on the outside. And I still have that. And I know what's in there. And all of those have come true except for 2. And one of them is pretty outrageous. And the other one's pretty common. But everything's, just clicking along. Now, I can undo that. I can start to worry about lack. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not up to that. I can lose my job, da-da-da-da-da. There's a lot of times where people will have an entangled intention. They're going for their perfect career or their perfect partner, say, and they entangle it with this negativity stuff. Or if they're really good at manifesting, it usually goes down like this. They got that perfect job. They can't believe it. Oh, my God, it's the greatest job. And they got that. There's this other little thing that they're doing during the day. When they find out about me, I'm going to get fired. I'm not as smart as some of these other people in here. And guess what? They get the job, and then down the road, they get fired. Congratulations, you got an A++++ on manifesting. You manifested things on 2 separate tracks. They were against each other.
Why do you think, I think a lot of people, you said, like you said earlier, listen to The Secret, and why do you think a lot of people fail in manifesting their goals?
Well, they don't believe it. They bail out.
They bail out? Why?
Yes,
why would they bail out?
It gets complicated. Well, they can't see it. They can't believe it. They don't understand it. It's too good to be true. They're not worthy. It's too fantastic, the things they're going for. Doesn't make any sense. Too woo-woo. I can go on and on and on. But, gravity looks like magic. Imagine this. When you get up in the morning, what's with the air? Does anybody get up in the morning and say, oh, thank you for the air. Thank you that I can breathe. Nobody does that. If air were unpredictable, everybody, everywhere the first thing he would do is say, "Oh, dear God, thank you. Where's the good air? Is it over there in the left-hand corner?" You're diving for the corner to get a pocket of air. Mm-hmm. We don't have to do that. It's our gift. Mm-hmm. It's our gift. And this business about your thoughts making things is a tremendous gift and is our birthright. And people have been talking about it for, in America, like you said, since the early 1900s.
Yeah, even before
that I'm aware of. Mm-hmm. But it's been going on for a long time because people would get results when they would stay on something. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter if they knew how it worked or not, but I want you to put the key in the car or hit the light switch or go to the water faucet, and when you hit that thing, you're going to get a result. And it's going to happen 100% of the time. Now, it may not come in the form you want or when you want it, but your thoughts are making it. And trust me, well, don't trust me. And now I'm selling snake oil, right? But I've seen this too many times from different people that I send things to that are that gifted. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts start to make it immediately. All you have to do is repeat it and keep it positive. But the magnifier is gratitude. Now, Judy said something one time at a workshop, and I'm around a lot of high flyers. And every once in a while, they'll come out with one of these things. And Judy said one of these things went, that's like metaphysical 101, like, duh. Mm. And she said, every day say 7 grateful things. I thought, well, that's kind of third grade, first grade, nursery rhyme stuff. But it hit me later in a big way. And she's right, because she can see thought. She can see what these energies do. And it was a much bigger thing than I thought. And I said, may I put this in the book? She said, I said it, you can use it, but I always give her credit. Mm-hmm. So every day I say 7 grateful things. I'm so grateful, or 3, or I forget, or 20. But what happens when I say, I'm so grateful for my perfect health. I'm so grateful that I live comfortably. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I'm here to do. And thank you for letting me on this program. It's on and on and on. And here's another one. I can be grateful for that wonderful vacation I had 3 years ago. I can be grateful for that really good gallery show, that successful gallery show I had, because I'm a full-time artist. So I make a living from that. So I can be grateful for things that happened in the past. I can be grateful for that wonderful love that I have. That was the top of the mountain. Mm-hmm. So grateful for that. Well, what it does is it helps to clear the field around you, because we have a lot of stuff in our little personal junkyards, don't we? Or at least I do. Mm-hmm. I even have a sign up front, Ken's Big Damn Junkyard. Mm-hmm. Well, when I started doing these 7 grateful things, it clears some of that stuff away. And I remember saying in the book, it just hit me. I'm kind of like a 360 Teflon coated runway around me for things to come in. Do I have blocks and crazy beliefs and this and that? Yeah, they can get in the way. For the most part, those 7 grateful things clear that out. And you know what? It feels really good to say it anyway. Mm-hmm. It feels good because it's doing good. Mm-hmm. That is interesting. Mm-hmm.
Well, Ken, you also talk about planting the flag in the end of your book.
Yeah. I've seen this happen a couple of times. I just got a call from someone. It's going to be one of the newsletter stories coming up. And she had this story, and I said, that's planting the flag. Mm. And I got this myself when I was redoing the book. I needed a new cover, more PR. It'll be about $30,000. Mm. And so I decided means I'm planting this flag. If I have to, I'll plant this flag about this $30,000. I sure don't want to spend $30,000. There's got to be another way. But I'm going to plant a flag. If push comes to shove, I'll write a check for the $30,000. Got to take it out of savings or get it from somewhere. Ugh. Mm. Well, as it turned out, that's a very powerful intention. I'm doing my gratitude every day. I'm going to my future, and all this stuff gets taken care of. I don't specify that all this is paid for. I've specified the book is doing well. Yes, it's got the cover, it's got all that, but I don't specify how this happens. Anything I specify has to happen. In my future, I'm just observing the end result. My thoughts will do that. Mm. Genie times, that's what I do. So I planted this flag. As it turns out, I got the cover. I got all these other things to happen. I didn't have to come anywhere near spending that kind of money, but I was prepared to do it. So with the call with the woman just 3 days ago, she's had an illness from a blood transfusion, very serious illness. And, I didn't think of this. I need more empathy for people. I have to put that in my future. That it doesn't cripple me, but yes, in my future, I have more empathy for people. I'll start putting that in there, that I can get that better. So she was limited on her future with her husband. The sort of long-range planning that most people would do, they didn't do. They had to be aware of medical facilities nearby. Could they go out and make big investments on things or take start big business plans or this and that? Well, no, because she might have a catastrophic medical bill. So she always had this hanging over her head. And so here's what she did. She got the book. She already knew about manifesting. She got the book. And it makes a difference when you know that your thoughts actually do something. When you know how this works, you're less likely to bail out. You know, you're less likely to think, I just don't go to the light switch anymore. Sometimes 5 years ago it didn't work, so I just don't use it anymore. You know that thing's hooked up to the power plant, so you're more likely to use it. So what she did was, she's going to her future and she has perfect health. Now, she didn't ask for a miracle. Perfect health implies one, but people have done this. And remember the guy, your leg hurts a little bit. They wake up and it doesn't bother them as much anymore. Or the boss doesn't get under their skin anymore. That's the equivalent to some kind of miracle, but it wasn't, the full-blown medical one. They feel fine. They're very happy with this result, however it happens. So she's in her future, and this is taken care of. And she's so grateful. She's so grateful, right? And does this every day. So in about 6 weeks, we just had a conversation. I'll have the story soon. She had decided that, because this is desperate, she's much older than 32 now, and she needs to do something. She needs to have a future. She needs to have a life. She needs to have a full life. That would be her preference. And if thoughts can make this, let's do it. And she's doing all kinds of things and taking care of herself medically. She's not goofing around. She's on, every path she can think of with this. Now she's doing the manifesting, going to her future. And she had this idea. She said, all right, if some kind of treatment comes along, if I have to go to Mexico for this, if we have to really pull out a lot of money for some new treatment, if it's not just one of these sustainable things, but it'll get me a cure, we'll do that. Or if I have to take a physical risk on a trial, a medical trial, I'll do that. These are the things that I'll do. I'm getting choked up. Just think about this. So she's going to put it on the line, and it's going to be a sacrifice. And she's jeopardizing her life and their savings, which should go away anyway if she's turned, tragically ill. So that's the plan. She's planted this flag that if something comes up, she is going to do it, unless it's just ridiculous. So she goes to the doctor's office. She has to get these checkups all the time. I don't know if this is her usual doctor's office. My memory is that she was asked to go to this other place for a little different kind of instrumentation on a blood test or something. And she's in there for a very short time. And they said, now, have you ever had a particular treatment for this disease? And she said, no. She said, we've got a clinical trial going, and we want you in this right away because we're looking for people that we can put in this trial that haven't had that particular treatment. And everybody with your disease has had the treatment, but you have not, because they've had you on a different discipline. Would you go into this trial now, today? Because we have one opening. And she said, yes. Here's what happened. They gave her a pill. One pill a day. No shots, no radiation, no crazy stuff. One pill, too good to be true, one pill, one new pill. And in 6 weeks' time, she's supposed to get a result, or not. In 4 weeks' time, they said she was cured. Well, if she stays on this pill, it's equivalent to a cure. This is what she's supposed to get. And there's no side effects. And they said, we can't believe you got this to happen in 4 weeks instead of 6. And not everybody gets this, but for you, this is your miracle.
Wow.
She planted a flag.
Yeah.
And it came up, and she jumped on it.
Yeah. Well, Ken, thank you very much for this. Where can we find you, and where can we buy your books?
www.manifesting123.com. and we go up to the store page, you can see where you can buy it through Amazon as a paperback. And it's out there all over the place. It's even in some bookstores, some big bookstores. Oh. And it's available as a paperback and audiobook. I've read the book, so you can get it as a jump drive. You can put it on your keychain, or you can get it as a download. And the book itself, as an ebook, is available. So it's out there in every way we can think of. And I so appreciate you helping to make this way, because this is very empowering information. By the way, I don't have any ego about this, because it's not my idea. It's not my plan. It's not my juice. I didn't invent this thing, but I stumbled on it, and apparently I'm the guy that's supposed to write about it. So thank you for helping to share this information.
Well, thank you for appearing on the show, Creative Magic. Awesome. Yeah, so anything else you want to plug, or?
Yeah, point yourself to happiness.
All right, cool.
Point yourself to happiness. And a lot of people, here's what happens. I'll make this brief. I get a lot of my meals through the car window. I just love that stuff, and I'm pretty busy. And occasionally I'll get this little hit. Maybe I'm just like a little teeny psychic person, right? Mm. And I'll say, you're supposed to make a wish. And I'll give that to you. You're supposed to make a wish. Everyone listening, including Frederick, including me, supposed to make a wish. And I'll say, it's a little crazy, isn't it? And they'll laugh and say, yeah. And I say, well, maybe understand that your people are trying to tell me to tell you to make a wish, and make a bunch of them. So do you understand? And they'll go, well, they're a little confused. Well, yeah, maybe. And I'll say, do you ever ask for things? And here's what happens. Here's how it falls out. And I'll sort of look up at the sky. I'm not trying to be a religious, thing here, but give them some sort of idea, clue. And they'll say, well, I love the things they say. Well, yeah, I do. I ask for a lot of things for other people. I said, no, this is for you. These wishes are for you, just for you. They'll go, oh, no, I don't do that. Or they'll say, well, I did ask for things, or I prayed for things, or I wished for things, and it came true, and it scared me, so I don't do it anymore. Or they'll just say, no, I don't. Mm-hmm. Now, occasionally, and it's like the 20 percentile group, 30 tops, they'll say, oh, yeah, I ask for things all the time. I said, how's that work out for you? I said, things happen. I like it.
Yeah.
And so please ask, because your thoughts begin to make it. You truly are a genie. You've been empowered to be one. Mm. So if you can make anything, let's get going. Make some good stuff, right?
Yeah, huh? Yeah. All right, Ken. Thank you again. Much success to your book, and I truly believe your message. God bless you.
Thank you, Freddie, and God bless you, and thank you. And let's go out and make some good changes. By the way, my wish for you is that, for everyone, is that they are healthy and balanced and whole, and they're in abundance. You know why? Because if you have everything you need, and you have more than you need, and maybe even more time than you need, you're going to take some of that abundance and go help the other guy.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of yourself first. Yeah. If you're in bed with the flu, you're worthless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to be well, and then we can pass some of this good stuff on. Let's go get them.
All righty. Once again, I just want to say thank you again to Ken Elliott, and thank you to all of you. It's pretty funny, because I looked at my numbers today, actually, and it's pretty cool, man. This thing is growing. This radio podcast is growing, and I just want to give a big thank you to all of you out there who listen to this show. I think it's a very informative, educative, entertaining show. I hope I'm entertaining. Am I entertaining? And so I just want to thank all of you guys. And by the way, when you pick up Ken's book from our website at frederickby.com, Amazon kicks back a few bucks to the show, and it helps cover production costs. No additional cost to you, no hidden fees, no nothing, no BS. So if you like what you hear, you can help. Go to frederickby.com, Frederick with a C, by like bye.com. Click the link to his book. Actually, click the Frederick By Show, and then click the link to his book. It is really that simple. Also, we would like to thank all those who pledged to our Patreon page. You are really helpful to the show, and we are grateful for your help. In case you're wondering, Patreon is a simple way for you to contribute to the radio podcast every month, and get super cool exclusive rewards in return. I promise you will love the perks. Our Patreon page is at frederickby.com. Click Patreon in the header, and the money is used to cover our production costs, editing, and a bunch of other stuff. You can contribute for as low as $1 a month. $1 a month. That's nothing. That's nothing. Also, the Creative Magic Store is, well, it's open 24/7. Go check it out. It's pretty cool, man. Jewelries, recommended reading, DVDs, t-shirts, mugs, a bunch of cool stuff. Even Max's books are in there, leading you out of the darkness, and it's not the cookie, it's the jar. I'm sorry, it's not the cookie, it's the bag. His 2 books, man, they're selling, flying off the shelves. It's pretty cool to hear, man. It's pretty cool to hear when someone you work with says, hey, man, because I am hosting on your network, I'm selling more books. That is pretty darn cool. Also, guys, this podcast is FREE free every time you download it on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you find your podcast. Please go over there, subscribe. It is listener supported. Tell a friend, leave a 5-star review. It really helps a brother out. I'm hearing my baby cry over there. It's cute. It's cute to hear a baby cry. Just a toddler cry. It's just cute. I love it, man. I love it. Hey, we have a great, scheduled episodes for the month of November and December. It's going to be so cool. I can't wait. I want to be on during, the holidays too. And also I would like to say real quick, we're looking for new hosts on the network. If you are positively oriented, we are looking for motivated, positively oriented podcasters to be part of the network. Whether you're starting out with nothing, maybe you know nothing about podcasting, or maybe you are experienced and you want to jump on our bandwagon, we have great plans for you. And, if you have a message, if you have a passion for what you want to say, and if you want to be guided a little bit at a very affordable price, this network is really at its infancy. So we really do our best to keep our rates low. So I just thought, maybe I can help some people out there. They can jump on the platform and just get just get a little bit of experience, build their platform off of our platforms, and that's it, guys. So you can just go to frederickby.com, Frederick with a C, by.com, and click become a host in the header. In the meantime, that's it for me. Stay safe, and don't forget, live with purpose, passion, fire, and love. Bye-bye.